Well, amidst the leadership crisis rocking the ruling All Progressives Congress, the emergence of Governor Abubakar Sani Bello as the acting chairman may now be likened to a Daniel that has come to judgment in a movement to consolidate his position as the acting national chairman of the Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the APC. Governor Bello has now announced a notice of meeting for the National Executive Committee, that's the NEC. After meeting with members of the Caretaker Committee, he announced the date for next meeting and the pruning down of the National Convention subcommittees earlier constituted by the sacked Mai Mala Buni leadership. Now this to accommodate other critical interests in the party. Now here's a picture of how the emergence of Governor Bello has been accepted at the APC National Secretariat.
That is good. That is good. Thank you. Chairman. Brown new chairman. Chairman. Excellency. Welcome here, Mr. Your Excellency. Excellency.
All right, Governor Sani Bello there, and we begin this round of conversation with BKO. It's more than 24 hours now, or thereabouts, since this news trickled in. How is it looking like for you? More than 24 hours now. Exit Mai Mala Buni and entering the Sani Bello-led extraordinary committee. Where is this all going? There are concerns about legitimacy, about acceptability, and now we are seeing him moving on a certain leadership.
Well, I think the leaders of the party use some level of wisdom in addressing this matter. If Mai Mala Buni was sacked or seen to be sacked, it will trigger some controversy because the people who sacked him did not put him there in the first place. The neck of the party, and the president put him in office. So people will ask why it wasn't the neck that was sacking him. Of course, his colleagues, governors, ganged up against him. They had these meetings over 2 nights. I talked about some of those demands, some of the things that made them angry. You can see that he's gone on to address some of what I said yesterday. The extremely high number of committee members, more than 1,800 pension committee members. And not only did they put such a large number of committee members in place, the governors, a good number of the governors had their list turned down. Whereas an individual in the party, the secretary of the party, will go on to put more than 200 nominees of his own. So you see now that the governor of Niger State has gone now to prune down that number of the convention committee members significantly, because it was one of the demands, it was one of the issues that these guys were angry about, beyond the fact that some of the committee members, the caretaker committee members, accused Mai Mala Buni and the secretary of marginalizing them, of not carrying them along. So Governor Bello has moved, has had this meeting with these committee members, and is trying to give them the feeling that, look, we need to work together. We need to plan together. Now, the second thing, I talked about party chairman, state party chairman yesterday. These state party chairmen were given certificates indicating that they had become chairmen of the party in the various states, but they were never inaugurated. Now, if you are not inaugurated, then you have no power. You cannot even exercise that duty legally because you were not inaugurated. one of the first things that Governor Bello has done is to inaugurate the state chairman, state party chairman in the state who were Abuja and exercise their functions as legally as chairman of the party in the state. And the governor, look, we are ready for this convention. He has already issued memos to party leaders indicating that he's ready to proceed with the convention. Some of the things they claim that Mai Mala Buni did, I have no evidence, was that he didn't want convention to take place. You know, when you start making these kind of allegations about a person, it's not going to be difficult to get support. And even when they walk up to the president and tell the president that the evidence they have is that he had no plan to do convention, he doesn't want to do convention, definitely the president will believe their story, because the party had wasted so much time in even forming a zoning committee. You cannot go ahead to do convention without the positions properly zoned to the So
all right
now that he is ready for work and he is showing it, and clearly the people in the party secretariat, from the way they received him yesterday, they are happy to work with him as a member of the caretaker committee that was appointed by NEC. So legally he's occupying that position because he's the most senior governor in that committee, because he's the only two-term governors amongst them. Others are just first-term governors, including Mai Mala Buni.
Adekunle Yusuf, what is your assessment of the situation, especially with the crux of the matter, APC cleaning house, preparing itself, for the general election, using the common convention as a benchmark, so to speak?
I see the party sinking deeper and deeper. It's in a hole already, and it's been like that for a long time. And in the party, instead of trying to climb out of the hole, is digging deeper and sinking deeper. Because whatever the new acting chairman may have done, you have to do things that will make people happy, and of what in politics, on what basis would you call what happened? If it were a military thing, call it a coup. You get my point? Legally speaking, on what would you want to say, okay, it's emergency? Through what? Is it neck of the meeting? Is it anything? Oh, I have the support of the president. Everybody can say that. The president doesn't own the party. All of them, including Mr. President, own the party. You get my point? So you say you have the support, you have the Buni may have done, things that make people, his colleagues in the party, governors and all that, totally unhappy with the state of affairs in the party. Fine, that's true. But there are ways you go about it. You can remove him. That's also within the powers of the party. But when you are doing things, I don't know whether we are in a democracy anymore, because there are ways you do things in politics. But the only way I know people behave this way at the National Union Road, people, another leader can just emerge tomorrow, another one today, another one tomorrow, another one next week. You get my point? And supremacy thing. Here, if one of them goes to court, the party will sink deeper and deeper in crisis. Tell me, who will recognize this? You are the acting chairman. Who made you your acting chairman? Because some of your fellow aggrieved fellow governors are with you, it doesn't change anything. You get my point? That's the way I see things. Okay. How can your own chairmanship stand the test of law? Because certainly somebody may want to go to, we even go to court. And before you know it, this is a time the party should actually resolve its differences. How many times have they, cancelled
convention?
Yeah, so I mean, now this one they fixed close to Ramadan. I've been expressing my doubts that it won't hold, that you will be wasted all the time, and you have to, if you understand, some of the many people in the party. I'm talking from the north. That time, fasting period means a lot to them. It means a lot to them. Why, convention close to that period and all that? That's my personal, worry.
Right.
But now with this, I believe the problem is even getting more complicated, because how would they address it? In 2 weeks' time, the president will be back, and whether the president truly says he should do this or whatever, we will see it.
Okay, let me compare all that has been said so far now with Asuko's views. Governor Bello has gone on now to summon or to order for a NEC meeting. How do you think this crucial body will try and make sense of what has happened? Like Adekunle has said now, the issue of how he himself emerged in the first place. Another editorial is saying, will they further seal the fate of the exiting or the exited Governor Malabuni, or what will happen at the NEC meeting, from your assessment?
The NEC is the overall body, when once it comes to, the political party. So when once the NEC ratifies Bello as the acting national chairman, he goes ahead. Don't forget that even the central committee, the coordinating committee for the national convention, for the APC National Convention, Bello is like the vice chairman. After Buni is Bello, that is the next. So APC can say, okay, fine, Buni is not around, and Bello is taking over as the acting chairman. Adekunle has said something which I beg to disagree. First, how did even Buni emerge? Didn't they have a national working committee on ground before they now sacked them and say because they don't like the man's face there? They removed him, and then they put their own central, whatever they call, caretaker, whatever committee.
Extraordinary.
You understand? That was supposed to work for 6 months and then bring in a new national working committee. After that, 2 years, they are still on it. So if they remove him, this is just like saying the cane that they use in beating the first wife.
No,
up there.
I was talking about the process.
Now the process. No, it's the same process.
Okay.
Whether you use the front door, you use but you have entered the house. That is the first. You use the front door or you enter from the back door. It's the same house that you are entering. So the thing is, APC, what they want is, they have seen from the body language of Buni that he didn't want to conduct the national convention. And the president, if you look at the president, he has always been insisting that this national convention must hold. But because the governors, they had their ulterior motive, especially Buni. I'm sorry to say, he's a good person. He came, he stabilized the whole system. He brought in new people who some of the court is now trying to remove. You understand? But the thing is, if you want to, go all out and do something good, go all out and do it. Don't start to find a way to make people begin to doubt you. And that is what the other governors who went to ambush the president did. That guy, Mr. President, this man does not want to do the national convention. We don't know the reason why he doesn't want to do the national, because they were also prepared. In fact, when we heard that they wanted to do the first, it was on the 26th of February that it was slated for the national convention. Eventually, we looked at it. The national convention that we know as a political scientist and everything that we are, journalists and everything, we know that before you even do that, committees will always come out. But they didn't say anything about committees. Everybody was quiet about it. Buni did not say anything. Even when he went to a particular event, he grudgingly said it was going to be March 26. He didn't believe that that word would come out from his mouth. But now the president is insisting that it has to be March 26. The governors are ready. If Bello is the one that would move the ship.
At least
Let him move it. It's just 2 weeks. Bello is not interested in staying for 6 months. He's just there for 2 weeks. So that the party will have a face. They have a bigger battle with PDP. PDP is just standing, looking at them, watching, looking at their moves. So they have to put their house in order so that they'll be able to face the bigger challenge, which is the 2023 election. And if they miss it, if they miss the national convention, if they miss it, they don't do the national convention, and they want to start saying, oh, let them move like that, they will have another challenge legally.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we'll wait and see how the pendulum will swing further. We'll continue to monitor the development indeed.